everyone, and welcome to my little corner. In this video, I'm gonna recommend you some classics and some movies that you may or may not have heard of before. I just want to mention that I'm not a horror buff. I don't watch horror movies because I'm too scared. So just keep in mind that this list is not even close to a best horror movies list or any kind of top or chart kind of list. So just keep this in mind that this is a very soft list. So first off, I want to start with the classics, and I don't really want to go really into the movies because I'm pretty sure you've already watched them, but I just want to remind you that it's always a good idea to rewatch these movies for Halloween. Halloween Town, all of them. I remember ever since growing up, even though Halloween is not even a thing in Portugal where I come from, but Disney Channel always had all these Halloween movies going all the time in October, and even though I didn't celebrate Halloween, it was always super exciting to wait for those movies, and honestly that was almost like a tradition. So you have to watch Halloween Town if you haven't before, but I'm pretty sure you have. Other classics are Beetlejuice, Addams Family, Hocus Pocus, and Twitches. Now I just want to go into some other random movies that I would recommend you to watch. I just want to mention that doing a Harry Potter marathon for Halloween is always a good idea. Also, I've always been a fan of the Final Destination movies. Honestly, those movies give me goosebumps. And I actually, after watching those movies, I kind of get scared as I'm living my life because I feel like literally anything can happen. And I always enjoy those movies. I don't know, it's like the whole destiny thing always captivates me. Another movie that I watched like long time ago, and I was kind of youngish, I don't even know how old I was, but I remember thinking that this was like the scariest movie I've ever watched, and that is Jeepers Creepers. And I just found out as I was making this list that there's a new Jeepers Creepers, like 3, that came out like a year ago or something, and I feel like I should watch that because I've actually enjoyed the other ones. So it is scary, but kind of a light scary, and the guy really is kind of creepy. Another movie that I want to mention, and is for sure the scariest movie in this whole list for sure, not a family movie, don't watch it with your kids, and is It, and the new version, 2017 version of It. It is the scariest movie I've ever watched, and I did go watch it in the theater, which made it even more scary because it was so loud. Even though it was scary, I still want to mention that I actually really enjoyed the movie. So yeah, I enjoyed it way more than I thought I would, even though I was very scared in a lot of parts of it. So maybe eventually, my husband really wants me to watch more horror movies with him, and I always say no, but I think I'm gonna start giving it a try and watch more horror movies with him. Scary and like ghosts and spirits, which I'm so scared of, but we'll see how it goes. Another really scary movie that I watched and really recommend is A Quiet Place. Again, this is a very recent movie, this year. The movie is probably, I think, so far the best movie of the year. There's this like alien monsters on Earth, and there's not a lot of people on Earth either, and there's this whole family that they cannot make any noise because these monster creatures have super hearing, and any kind of little sound, the creature will just come and attack you and kill you. So don't make a sound. And honestly, it was so breathtaking. Every time something would happen where someone would make a sound, drop something, hit something, you literally hold your breath. You're just like literally like that throughout the whole movie, and it's mind-blowing. Seriously, you have to watch it. Another scary movie to watch this Halloween is Train to Busan. Now this is a Korean movie, but just because it's Korean and foreign and you have to read subtitles, please don't let that stop you from enjoying this amazing movie. Again, this movie is about zombies, but it's probably the best zombie movie ever. There's this girl in the beginning of the movie who gets infected Honestly, we don't really know how that happened, but she got bit and she's infected and she got into the train like last minute. But even though it's such like kind of scary and serious and super amazing to watch, there's a lot of emotion in this video, especially towards the ending. There's so much emotion. Also, there's gonna be a Train to Busan 2, which I don't know if it's coming next year. I think so, but it's coming. Another movie to watch this Halloween is Goosebumps, and this is a very, very light, funny horror movie. It's not even a horror movie. It's just a light Halloween scary maybe. I really enjoyed it. I mean, it's kind of like a silly, funny movie, but it's so much fun. Like, it's a family movie and I really enjoyed it. There's all these books filled with like creatures and tales and fables maybe. So these stories actually come to life when you open the books. So you guessed it, somebody opened the books and all these creatures came out of the books. So basically the whole movie is like Jack Black and these other kids are trying to put the creatures back into the books because the creatures are creating a big mess in the world. And also for this movie there is a Goosebumps 2, which is actually coming out this year. I don't know if it's out already. It might be out already. If not, it's coming very soon. The next movie that I recommend is called Don't Breathe. And this movie came out in 2016 and it's kind of like another type of like breathtaking movie, as the title suggests, Don't Breathe. So there's a group of 3 people that are trying to break into this guy's house, trying to steal his money because they heard that he has money or something like that. But when they are inside of the house, they end up getting trapped inside of the house, and they thought that the guy wasn't gonna be a problem because he's blind, but it ends up that that whole thing backfires on them, and this guy is a much bigger threat than they thought it was. It's a really good movie. You should watch it. The next movie I want to recommend is called Happy Death Day, and this actually came out also very recently. So in this movie, this girl keeps dying, and every time she dies, she wakes up in the morning again, reliving the same day, and then she dies again in some other way, and then she keeps trying to change it and trying to figure out what to do, like in these kinds of movies are always like. And basically, yeah, you just watch this girl reliving the same day, dying in all these different ways until she finds out who the killer is and why they're trying to kill her. I really enjoyed the movie and I think you would too, so give it a try. The next movie I want to recommend is called Tucker and Dave vs. Evil. So this is kind of like a horror slash comedy movie, which you never really see a horror and a comedy together. The whole movie is based on misunderstandings. So basically there's a whole lot of comedy inside of what's supposed to be a horror movie. Like, can you imagine those movies where there's like someone with a chainsaw chasing you in a forest or like some isolated house and stuff like that? Well, take that and then put comedy on it, and that's what this movie is. It's very fun. My next recommendation is called Get Out, and this was a massive movie last year. It currently has 99% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's insane. There's this interracial couple, this black guy and this white girl who are dating. So the black guy is gonna meet her parents, this whole white people, and then the white people are not what they seem to be, and there's a whole bunch of strange, weird things happening around the house in that family. There's a whole bunch of crazy stuff happening in this movie, and it is a must watch. Next up, there's this movie called Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. This family goes into this super big mansion. There are these little creepy creatures living in the basement, and basically they're trying to get out of there and just spread in the house. They're really creepy. And then there's this little girl, which she's kind of like the main character in the movie, and these creatures keep going after the little girl, and it is very creepy at times. So yeah, try watching it and let me know what you think. And lastly on my list is a movie called Hush, and this is a movie I watched on Netflix. So there's this deaf girl who goes live in this isolated house in the middle of nowhere The house is like made of glass, like it's in the middle of like a forest or something, made of glass, which honestly, if you watched enough horror movies, even if you haven't watched them, heard of them, I don't know, you should know you never do that. This deaf girl is in the house and there's this killer guy who appears and he keeps trying to get inside of the house to kill her. So it's a very intense movie. This movie is a roller coaster, but it's also a must watch. So this is my recommended movies for you to watch this Halloween. Again, keep in mind, I'm not a horror movie person. I don't really watch a lot of horror movies, so this is classics and soft horror movies for the most part. I would love to know your recommendations of movies to watch for this Halloween, and even recommendations not just for everyone reading the comments and watching this video, but also for me. So yeah, leave those recommendations in the comments down below. And yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like and make sure to subscribe, because I will see you next time. Bye bye.